Hmm.
Specific clarification related to Apertum ChainBots, focusing on something called the trade load amount. It's a term that seems to cause a fair bit of confusion.
That's right. And our source today is just one document, but it's a really important one, a clarification put out specifically to, clear the air on this exact topic.
Okay.
So our mission really is to get a precise handle on the mechanics, sure, but maybe more importantly, the principles behind it all, like control and security when you're dealing with these decentralized setups.
Right. And I think the answer we're going to find regarding this trade load amount is probably going to be a bit of an aha moment for some listeners
I think so too.
because it really pushes back against the assumptions we often bring from, traditional banking or finance about how funds are handled. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's dive into this document. All right, so let's frame the discussion with the specific question that started this whole thing. It's a totally fair question, one you might ask yourself.
Mm,
Is there anywhere in writing that the trade load amount will be returned upon ChainBot performance target completion?
exactly. It comes from that standard way of thinking.
Right?
You put money in somewhere, so naturally you expect it to be returned later, right?
Yeah, exactly. Get it back.
But here's where it gets interesting. The immediate answer in the clarification document kind of flips that on its head. It says quite directly, the trade load amount is not written as returned because it's never taken in the first place.
Whoa, okay, stop right there. Never taken.
Yeah,
That's the core of it, isn't it?
that really is the crux of it. In, the systems we're used to, you deposit money and it feels like the bank or the platform takes custody, takes possession of it.
Right.
Decentralized systems, or at least well-designed ones like this aims to be, operate fundamentally differently.
Okay, so if it's not taken, what is happening? How does that work? This is where the clarification becomes super helpful.
Mm-hmm.
It explains that when you're using something like an Apertum ChainBot,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically an automated trading strategy working for you, what you think of as the trade load amount is, in their words, your trade balance.
Your trade balance. Okay.
Yeah, you're essentially just loading it into your trade pair for the bot to operate. You're designating funds that are already yours in your wallet for the bot to use.
So you're not sending it to the bot, you're just pointing the bot at a part of your balance.
Precisely. It never leaves your control, your ownership. The key phrase here is, it's your balance. Always. It's kind of like setting aside cash in a specific envelope in your own safe rather than handing the whole safe over.
That's a great way to put it. And this idea leads straight into the absolute foundation of user control in these kinds of systems.
Right.
The document is very explicit. At no point is your balance held or possessed by anyone else. That's a powerful statement.
It really is. And the direct consequence for you, the listener, is equally powerful. You are in full control at all times.
And that's not just like a marketing slogan.
No, it's a technical reality, right? It's built into the architecture.
Exactly. It's baked into the code and the decentralized nature of the platform.
So, okay, this idea of full control at all times,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just abstract. It has real, practical meaning, this sort of operational freedom.
Absolutely.
Anyone who's ever waited days for a withdrawal or had an account unexpectedly frozen in a traditional system, this is a world apart.
Oh,
The
completely.
document spells it out. Because you retain that control, you can remove your funds from the trade pair and terminate the bot whenever you wish.
Instantly. No asking permission.
No permission needed, no waiting period imposed by some central authority. It directly addresses that core anxiety, doesn't it? Can I actually get my funds when I decide I want them?
It does. And that's a huge element of user empowerment. The system allows this because of how it's built.
Okay, so let's talk about why this is possible. How can you have this level of control?
Right. The how, it comes down to the underlying tech. The power of a decentralized ecosystem using smart contract technology.
Smart contracts, okay.
Yeah, this isn't just jargon, it's the engine making this possible. A smart contract is basically self-executing code. It lives on a public blockchain, its rules are transparent, they can't be secretly changed, and they run automatically.
So it's not a person or a company deciding, it's the code itself.
Precisely. It's not a custodian in the traditional sense. It's code that you, using your private cryptographic key, authorize to interact with your funds, but only according to the rules you agreed to.
Ah, okay, so that's how you get to the point where there's no central party with access to your assets.
Mm-hmm.
The access is governed by the code you interact with,
Mm-hmm.
not by a company holding the
Oh,
key.
got it. It's a fundamental shift.
It really feels like it boils down to trust then. But trusting code, not people or institutions.
In a way, yes, trusting the transparent, verifiable, immutable code of the smart contract. And, the document itself acknowledges how important it is to get this across clearly. It mentions the need to communicate how the system works and reassure everyone about the safety and autonomy of their funds. Because just saying you have control isn't enough. You need to understand why it's safe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Understanding the why builds real confidence.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. The big takeaway from this deep dive, based on the clarification document, is pretty clear. In this kind of decentralized system, specifically with Apertum ChainBots, the trade load amount isn't money that's taken from you.
Correct.
It stays as your trade balance, under your control in your sphere of influence, let's say. You can pull it back, stop the bot, do what you want with it whenever you decide. It's always yours.
And this really underscores that fundamental shift we talked about. Decentralized systems powered by smart contracts, they offer a different trust model. You're moving away from relying on a central company's promises.
Right, their goodwill or their security practices.
Yeah. Exactly. And moving towards what you could call programmatic certainty. The rules are out there. In the code, they execute automatically. Your autonomy, your security, it's enforced by the system's design, not by an intermediary you have to trust.
It's a powerful concept.
Yeah.
Which leads to, I guess, a final thought for everyone listening. If a truly decentralized system means, like the document says, no central party with access to your assets, well, how might that basic shift in control and trust change how we think about ownership?
Interesting question.
Not just for digital money, but, more broadly, what other traditional systems think property titles, supply chain tracking, maybe even voting could be reimagined using this kind of approach, where control stays more directly with the individual or the participants, enforced by transparent code.
Yeah, what does ownership really look like when you remove the need for many traditional gatekeepers? That's definitely something to mull over.
Definitely food for thought.